Welcome to the second episode of the Sunday Daze. I'm Tyler Morris, and man, look how far we've come since episode 1. I adjusted the framing so I'm basically Stanley Kubrick, but with far less resources and one less Oscar. I'm also wearing a new outfit, which means that I at least have the illusion that I've showered recently. And I still have room in the budget to do more Chick-fil-A offers in future episodes. If you get that joke, then you see my first episode, so thank you and welcome back. If you didn't, then you either haven't seen my first episode or you still haven't caught on to the fact that Chick-fil-A isn't open on Sundays. See, this is an educational program. But now isn't the time to talk about fast food or fresh clothes. It's time to plug in some headphones so the sound of my voice doesn't attract any stray animals, because I have another stellar episode for you on this holy day. So 2018 has played out like one long whodunit movie, except the question is no longer who done it, but rather who didn't. Today's whodunit is former CEO of CBS, Les Moonves. In an unsurprising turn of events, Moonves was found to have repeatedly lied to investigators and destroyed evidence related to his multiple sexual misconduct allegations. But let's not be silly. It wasn't because he felt guilty or ashamed or haunted by the ghosts of his handsy past. No, it was because of something much more telling of the fallen entertainment titan, a $120 million severance package. If there's anything this man loves more than money, it's his own package. And coming from the person who brought us the Big Bang Theory, I can only assume that it's incredibly small. The nerds at Harvard University are back with more terrible news. One professor recently recommended that an ideal serving size of French fries should be just 6 fries, which is equal to 1 average American breath. This is the land of supersized food and fried everything. Why even bother with just 6 fries in a serving? If I'm going to make the conscious decision to order fries, you better believe that I'm eating the entire thing. And that's not being unhealthy, that's just getting my money's worth. To add insult to injury, the professor said to instead eat a salad. If we're going to compare apples and oranges, or rather salad and potatoes, let's not forget that salad is mostly just water and E. coli. If anything, the full order of French fries is a better serving of vegetables than the bowl of crunchy water. And I'm no Ivy League professor, but French fries and ketchup is basically potato salad. Prove me wrong. Well, we're less than 3 months away from the 2019 Academy Awards, and after 2017's Moonlight disaster and 2016's presidential disaster, it turns out that nobody wants to host the show, not even Oscar himself. According to a recent article in The Hollywood Reporter, hosting the Oscars has become the most unwanted job in Hollywood, and it isn't just because the show is 2 hours too long. Over the past few years, ratings have dropped sharply, making the Academy even more eager to snatch a dazzling performer. And when you pair the toxic ratings with an increasingly polarizing political and social climate, it makes finding a host nearly impossible. The author goes on to say that in order for the show to resurrect its ratings, the potential host must be funny without being tawdry, topical without being controversial, politically savvy without being too partisan, young but not so young as to scare the Academy's governors, and satisfactory to a coalition of competing interests including the Academy's president, the sprawling board, and ABC. Okay, Goldilocks, where do we begin? You're not going to find that anywhere, so something is going to have to give. Or maybe it's just time to come to terms with the fact that nobody has the patience to watch a 5-minute YouTube show, let alone waiting 3 hours to find out who won Best Picture. Also, I didn't even realize there was a least wanted job in Hollywood. If that truly were the case, then why are movies like this still being made? The real answer is there is no least wanted job in Hollywood because there will always be someone out there in need of a gig, like this guy. So come January, if you still need someone young, topical, and satisfactory to host 3 hours of popular celebrities mispronouncing unfamiliar names, then sign me up, Oscar. It wasn't difficult to pick this week's What to Watch. It's one of my favorite shows currently on television and has been brought to life by an army of wickedly creative and hilarious minds. I'm talking about The Motherforking Good Place, created by the legendary Michael Schur, who is best known for Parks and Recreation and his work on The Office. The Good Place centers around Eleanor, an Arizona trash bag who dies and finds herself in a version of the afterlife known as the Good Place, a paradise of sorts reserved for Earth's best of the best. Eleanor quickly realizes that she's not supposed to be there and enlists the help of some new friends, including a moral philosophy professor, to help her figure out what it takes to become a good person. This all-star cast features Kristen Bell, Ted Danson, William Jackson Harper, Darcy Carden, Jamila Jamil, and Manny Jacinto. Each episode is a sandbox that explores deep ethical and moral philosophy lessons through the lens of Michael Schur's sharp and heartwarming brand of comedy, making this show one of the most unique comedies on television. Whether it's picking a track on the trolley problem or navigating an immortal being's existential crisis, this structure allows the series to go in all kinds of different directions while remaining focused on inherently human and relatable storylines. The Good Place was just nominated for 2 Golden Globes, including Best Comedy and Kristen Bell for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. You can catch up on the first 2 seasons now on Netflix, but this isn't a choose-your-own adventure, so do yourself a favor and be sure to start from the very beginning. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of YouTube's hit new sensation, The Sunday Daze. I'll see you next week, or will I? Stay tuned to find out.